anyone tells you otherwise, like oh, there's dupes, there's no dupes for this one. There's no dupes for this one. This is the one and only. Hey guys, I am back with another video. For today's video, I'm going to be going over what I do to get a flawless Instagram baddie base. Before we get into it, y'all know the drill. I gotta pin my hair back like a professional YouTuber. We're manifesting professionalism all 2022 and beyond. Okay, so now that the hair is all pinned up, the first thing I want to tell you guys to do when you're doing a base routine, doesn't matter if it's going to be a light natural base or a full beat face, you need to have an epic skincare routine. So the most important thing is to get a cleanser that works for you. I have really oily skin, so I use Kiehl's or Farmacy. Those are my two favorite cleansers at the moment, so I use those two. But it's important to find a cleanser that works for you. So if you have dry skin, if you have normal skin, if you have oily skin, if you have acne prone skin, find a cleanser that works for you. Number two, I like to use a serum. Like, my skin is oily, but I have like dry areas, so like under my eye gets pretty dry and like around my nose gets pretty dry. So I use the Hyaluronic Acid Glow Serum from Juvia's Place. Or next thing you want to do is get a moisturizer that's not too heavy, but that hydrates and moisturizes your skin so that your foundation goes on like a second skin. I like to use the Versed Skin Soak Rich Moisture Cream. It's not too heavy, but it nourishes my skin enough to where when it goes on, when my foundation goes on, it doesn't look creased, it doesn't look cakey, and it looks like literally a second skin. Last but not least, I'm going to show you guys this eye cream. This is from Kiehl's. It's the Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. It's on the thicker side, so I use a tiny bit because I don't want to, I don't know, I just don't like having super heavy products on my face before I put makeup on. I like the heavier products for nighttime, you know, when my skin is doing its rejuvenating routine, its cycle, you feel me? So I use a small amount. But if you're not gonna do a full 10-step routine before your makeup, these 4 pieces in your skincare routine are essential for a flawless base. Now that I ran y'all through the skincare, if y'all want more in-depth detail, let me know. I can do a different video. But now that I ran you guys through my little routine before the makeup, we're gonna get into the makeup. First things first, I'm gonna go in with a primer, and I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. This is my baby, my favorite primer of all time. Literally, it's like, imagine putting a magnet on your face and the makeup just sticks on. Like, I feel like with this primer, I could wear my makeup for 3 days and it wouldn't go anywhere. I've slept my makeup, which don't follow my example. But I slept my makeup with this primer being underneath, and it's literally not transferred onto my pillows and stayed on and looked like a fresh face when I woke up. So this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, period. So you don't want to overdo it with how much you take. I take about like this much as I overdo it. Okay, so I take about like 2 to 3 pumps. I'm gonna add a little more and put it on my forehead. You gotta get everywhere, girl. Get the forehead, get the sides of the forehead, the temples, in between the brows. Even though there is makeup here, it's okay because the primer's, the primer's still gonna do what it needs to be done. Look at the bounciness. Ooh, like a trampoline. Yeah, this is the best primer ever. Like, if anyone tells you otherwise, like oh, there's dupes, there's no dupes for this one. There's no dupes for this one. This is the one and only. Okay, and I'm using the M.A.C Studio Fix Fluid in the shade NW43. Gorgeous girls have a mixing dish, and I have this mixing dish from Icy Wifey Cosmetics. You need one of those because, one of these, excuse me, because like, why would I want to put on my hands? Bad bees don't put makeup on the back of their hand. They put it on a mixing dish. And why I like this is because, like, let's say for example, I'm going to step away for a minute. Now I can move with this if I want to and not worry about anything falling off of it, whatever, you know. The girls that get it, and the girls that don't. To put this foundation on, I'm going to use the Morphe E63 brush. Honestly, I love this brush, but you can use any dense brush. Like, you see how packed the bristles are? You want to use a brush that's dense enough to make the makeup look buffed out and not streaky on your face. And then you want to use patting motions to get the makeup to have the most coverage possible. First of all, the match is the match is so freaking bomb, I can't. But I'm gonna show you guys a technique to do if you have more acne or acne scars, because when I had acne scars, I would do this technique and it really covered up my complexion and made it look all one color. So I'm gonna show y'all that technique in a second too. But I'm starting off with the 1 layer foundation. So to blend out these areas right here, I'm gonna take some of the foundation. I'm going to take this brush from Rare Beauty. I don't think it's sold separately. I forgot what this came with, but any small dense brush will do just fine. And you're going to take the foundation and really blend those edges into your face base. And you see how like that blends super nice, just gorgeous. Okay, so for my girls that don't like a full base routine, you can stop right here. But considering I like a full base routine, I'm probably gonna do 1 to 2 more layers of makeup, foundation, excuse me, and then go in with spot treating. So I'm gonna let this dry down for like 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go in with my second layer of foundation. So now that I let this dry down for a couple minutes, I'm gonna go back in with a second layer. So now that I have my 2 layers on, I'm now going to do spot correcting. Earlier, I think I said spot treating, but that's for skincare, so I meant spot correcting. And I'm gonna use a Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation in the shade Somali, excuse me. And then I'm going to take about that much. And I'm going to use that to spot conceal my whole face. This is the technique I used for when I had really bad acne scars, which was about 5 or really bad, 5 or 6 years ago. And this works freaking wonders. So I just go in the areas that I feel like I don't have enough coverage already. Usually like around my mouth area. Right here I have like a lot of hyperpigmentation. And then I'm gonna use this small brush to keep everything kind of concentrated. This is the 9 AM brush from the Crayon Case. This brush is like probably one of my favorite brushes because it blends everything so seamlessly. Baby, you don't know. And for the areas that are kind of like standing out, I'm going back in with that foundation brush to blend it all in and make sure it's really, really seamless. To make sure it's all super seamless on my hairline, I took this brush and I dusted off the excess foundation, and I'm just gonna go in lightly and blend downward to make sure it's all seamless and blend it into my hairline. There we go. Because the last thing that you want is like a ring or something of the foundation that does not go into your hairline. Like, I feel like that looks so unprofessional and so like sloppy and amateur. And we're not sloppy or amateur, so gotta make sure everything is just perfectly blended. Like, it already looks so good. Oh! Now we're moving on to concealer, bronzer, and blush. I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty bronzer stick in the shade True Warmth. And I'm gonna use this. I just love how seamless it is. Like, what? So bomb. I'm going a little bit above my natural cheekbone because my natural cheekbone's really low, and you know, I want to look like I have a high cheekbone. And I'm putting this in all the areas that I want to add a little warmth. And to blend this, I'm going to take a flat kabuki brush. This is the, I don't know, it's just like a flat kabuki brush. You could probably get this from like Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use patting motions to blend this out. Patting and slight swirling. This is such a gorgeous bronzer shade. Like, it literally looks like my face is just glowing warmth, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Like, I don't want it to be super, super harsh. I want it to look like this is my skin. So I'm gonna do 3 concealers. I'm so extra, but I feel like honestly it's really hard to get a perfect blended, highlighted, seamless concealer look, like basically powder look, without using more than 1 concealer. So I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Warm Beige. I'm gonna apply that down first. And then I'm gonna go in with these 2 shades from the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This is the shade 120, and this is the shade Warm Beige. This one's just really creamy, and I love creamy concealers, so I just like how it feels and how it blends out. And now for the 120, this is gonna brighten my under eye. So now I'm gonna go in with the Continuous Mist Setting Spray from Morphe. I'm gonna use that to mist my face because this helps the concealer blend ever so seamlessly. And I'm going to use a beauty blender. As you can see, this is one of my favorites. It's time for a wash. I use beauty blenders because I feel like they are the best out there. There are tons of beauty sponges on the market, but beauty blender does the best. And I'm going to use this and just tap that concealer right on in there. I'm gonna go in with that brush that I used for blending the foundation, and I'm going to blend it out into the blush and the contour. Now it is time to set and bake our cream and liquid products. So I'm going to use the Lasting Fix setting powder in the shade Banana from Maybelline. I really like using this setting powder because I feel like it gives me a really seamless finish without taking away or adding color to my under eye. Like, it's one of the very few powders that are actually translucent, so I love it. First, we're gonna set. This is the ColourPop F32 brush, and I'm gonna use this to lightly dust the powder on my under eye. Now it is time to bake. The best technique I can give you with baking is to use a powder puff. Mine looks crazy because, again, I have to wash my stuff, but using a powder puff is gonna change the way you bake. I promise. And I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is the Morphe MM1, and I'm going to use this to set the bridge of my nose and then bake it. So I'm gonna bake for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and show y'all what I do for my contour and blush. So now I'm gonna go in and start bronzing and applying my powdered blush. So I'm using this bronzer from Makeup Revolution in the shade Dark 4, and this is the Mega Bronzer. It's literally so big. And I'm gonna use this brush from Morphe. It's the M528. I'm gonna take, like, literally it's so pigmented, you do not need that much. Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna use that. And now I'm going to take the One Size Turn Up the Base Versatility Powder in the shade Medium Dark. And I'm going to take the Sigma F47 brush, which is like a flat, I think this is a kabuki as well, but it's flat and angled. And I'm gonna take that and dip it in the powder, and I'm gonna use that to kind of knock off the baking powder. Now I'm gonna take actually a sponge as well and dip it back in the powder until it's like kind of caked up like that. And I'm gonna use it to set the sides of my nose. For blush, I'm gonna use the Apple Fusion palette from Fruit Cosmetics. A little much, but we're gonna blend it out. Now I'm going to set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray. This is the Grip Set and Refresh Setting Spray. And then I'm going to use my mirror to fan my face. This is important because for whatever reason, when you fan it versus letting it dry on by itself, it just looks more like skin to me. And using setting spray after all this really kicks off any excess powder and makes it look like skin. Okay, so that is it for the base. I'm going to do the rest of my face off camera and then come back to show y'all the completed look. All right, guys, this is the finished look. The base is giving bad gal, hot gal, Instagram baddie vibes. Guys, I'm so obsessed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to get a flawless base. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or direct message me on Instagram. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll be back with some more videos for you guys. Bye.